Welcome to CHSI Modular Mandatory 8HR Seminar and COVID-19 Workplace Safety and Health Orientation. E-dust is a solid harmful substances are ground, cut or crushed by mechanical actions and fine particles. Float in air, particle size of about 1 to 150 Examples are metal dusts and asbestos. Dusts and particulates are suspended solid particles in the air. These are classified into total dust, all dust particles in the area. Respirable dust, fraction of total dust which can be inhaled and deposited in the lungs. Health effects of chemical hazards. Immediate health effects, acute, e.g. skin irritation, burns etc. Longer terms effect, chronic, organ damage, cancer, weakening of immune system etc. Control measures. Read and follow all directions of SDS when using chemical products. Maintain indoor air quality, proper storage. Right now, we are going to do our workshop on risk assessment and control measures. This how to accomplish risk assessment. Under column activity you have to select workplace or specific activity first like X-ray operation. 2 then, under column identified hazard, you have to provide the hazard/S from your selected activity under column activity like scattered radiation. 3 next column, which is consequences, you have to provide the consequence/S of hazard you have identified. Example scattered hazard may result to cancer. 4 column, control measures, you need to write the most effective control measure for that identified hazard like wearing of full PPE for X-ray operation. 5 then, the second to the last column which action to be taken by, you must write the responsible person to implement the control measures, and 6 the last column is status. Under this column you have to write either open, close, or ongoing. Open if control measure not yet been discussed, close if the control measure is already implemented, and ongoing if control measure has been discussed but still not being implemented. Module 4, Hazard Identification, Risk Assessment and Control, HRIC. Objective: to be able to perform risks/hazards assessment, evaluation and recommend measures of control. Safety officer to provide practical examples applicable to company practices/processes. What is HRIC? It is a tool used to identify hazards in the work area or in work activities, perform risk assessment, determine and implement controls and to monitor and review effectiveness of such controls. It is the heart of the occupational safety and health management system. OSH risk assessment is the process of identifying hazards, assessing risk and determining controls, while HRIC is the tool to perform OSH risk assessment. Application of controls. Engineering control could be elimination/substitution/isolation. Administrative control, changing the way people work. Personal protective equipment. To accomplish HRIC, you may notify safety officer who is on call to assist. He is available every Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Safety officer mobile no 0997 572 1538. The safety officer will explain the HRIC form in details. See next 2 slides of CHSI HRIC form. This will give you an idea how to make HRIC. Official HRIC form shall be sent to you via email. Module 5, Workplace Emergency Preparedness. Objective: to be able to know how to respond in workplace emergencies and participate during the conduct of emergency drills. Safety officer to discuss in details the emergency execution plan. Requirements. The OSH Law, Do 198-18, provides in Section 11, d, that employers shall provide workers adequate and suitable information on emergency and disaster management protocols, including proper evacuation and shutdown procedures. Section 12(14), that establishments are to develop a comprehensive OSH program that includes a plan to respond to emergencies and disasters. Workplace emergency. OSHA defines workplace emergency as situations that threaten employers, employees, customers, and the public, disrupts or shuts down operations, or causes physical or environmental damage. OSHA. Fire and Emergency Disaster Brigade/Personnel. Fire and Disaster Incident Commander. Safety Officers. Nurse and First Aiders. Fire and Disaster Warden. Fire and Disaster Floor Marshals. Emergency Execution Plan. One Fire and Disaster Incident Commander, upon received the information from his warden and marshals, he should determine, evaluate, assess, and declare emergency after having a visual assessment of the situation. He is responsible to call emergency services like BFP, police and others as needed. 2 Fire and Disaster Warden shall coordinate the floor marshals regarding the emergency situation and communicate the incident commander. He shall ensure proper execution of the evacuation procedures through lead of the marshals. He shall activate the manual push fire alarm as needed. 3 Floor marshals responsible to identify, determine, assess, communicate the situation to the warden. He shall, on his designated floor or area, evacuate the CHSI employees/workers, directing them to the exit points up to the assembly area. In case of earthquake, the floor marshal shall immediately remind/instruct the employees on his charge to execute the drop, cover and hold by hiding under solid table, desk, etc. He has to check also the situation on the exit points if it is safe to do evacuation. 4 Safety officers shall monitor the safe movement of workers/employees during the evacuation execution, ensuring that exit routes up to the assembly area are free from obstructions. 5 Physician/nurse and first aiders shall assist and give first aid to workers/employees who possibly or accidentally injured during the evacuation process. 6 Employees/workers shall obey and follow the instructions of the marshals during the evacuation. They should be calmed, relaxed and avoid panic to prevent occurrence of any further incidents. 7 At the assembly area, head count shall be made by designated marshals with the assistance of supervisors/heads and managers. No one is allowed to go back to the building without proper advice from the incident commander or from BFP. 8 Search and rescue shall proceed as needed. This is the evacuation route for MPO CHSI employee. Other CHSI employees deployed to different clients may follow their own evacuation plan. Emergency and Disaster Preparedness. Immediate action, in case of fire. The first person to notice the fire shall shout fire, loud enough to be heard within the widest vicinity of the area affected by the fire, and immediately sound the alarm or tell someone else to do so. No other alarm should be activated, except on the floor or area affected by the fire. Those nearest the fire should do everything possible within the limit of their safety to try to contain or put out the fire, with the use of fire extinguisher or other means as long as it is safe to do so. Report outbreak of fire to the CHSI emergency hotline designated by the company or to the incident commander stating the specific location of fire, possible damage, and name of the caller. The authorized person will relay the message to the nearest fire station. Things to do in case of fire. Immediately cease work. Secure important papers or matters. Lock drawers and file cabinets. Designated custodians should ensure that prime records and cash are inside the vault and locked. Unplug as quickly as possible all electrical equipment safely. Get out of the room quickly and take the nearest fire exit. Walk fast but don't run. Keep calm and don't panic. Give way to occupants of floors above you if fire occurs on floor S above you. Observe a continuous flow of traffic, in single or two abreast, at the fire escape stairs. Once on the ground level, assemble in an area cleared of danger, assembly area, and give way to people engage in firefighting. Things to do in case of fire. If trapped, don't jump, help is always on the way. Close doors, open window slightly at the top or bottom for vent and breathing, then wait. If room is filled with smoke, get close to the floor, take short breath, cover your face with wet cloth. Keep out of excessive heat, smoke, and feel doors before opening. Crawl to safety. When fire is brought under control, assemble a designated area and wait for further instructions. What to do in case of earthquake? Go to a safe place or hide under solid table. Execute drop, cover and hold. Don't rush out of the building. Confusion of a panic exit could produce more injuries than the quake itself. Since the worst danger is likely to be past after the first minute, try to maintain calm and presence of mind during this critical period. After the shock, disconnect electric power and gas lines if safe to do so. Extinguish any fire that may start near you. Use fire extinguishers and fire hoses, if any, situated at strategic locations. Fire and earthquake evacuation procedure. 1. Proceed immediately to a safe area and wait for instruction from CHSI Fire and Disaster Marshal. 2. In case of earthquake, the floor marshal shall immediately remind/instruct the employees on his charge to execute the drop, cover and hold by hiding under solid table, desk etc. He has to check also the situation on the exit points if it is safe to do evacuation when necessary. 3. If you are in the 16th floor during the emergency, join the evacuation lead by floor fire and disaster marshal on the floor where you are and do not return to your office until the emergency ceases. Responses during emergency. Conduct of emergency drill, earthquake drill, fire drill, bomb threat. Drills to be done during the seminar. Module 5 Short Activity. Since we can't do actual drill, here's your activity. 1. Based on your established evacuation plan, write down or sketch in a short bond paper your evacuation route, in case of emergency, which shall start from your workstation going to your designated assembly area. In the case the evacuation route is not available on your workplace, just write down or sketch the safest evacuation route from your workstation going to the assembly area. Module 6 Compliance to Administrative OSH Requirements. Objective: to be able to identify the prescribed administrative requirements and penalties for violations. Safety officer to emphasize the rights of workers. Safety officer to get commitment from worker. RA 11058, the right of workers. Workers' right to know, Section 5 Chapter 3 Do 198-18, the right to safety and health at work shall be guaranteed. All workers shall be appropriately informed by the employer about all types of hazards in the workplace, and be provided access to training, education and orientation on chemical safety, electrical safety, mechanical safety, ergonomics and other hazards and risks. 2. Workers' right to refuse unsafe work, Section 6 Chapter 3 Do 198-18, the worker has the right of refusal to work without threat or reprisal from the employer if, as determined by DOL, an imminent danger situation exists. As a preventive measure, the safety officer may, following his/her own determination and without fear of reprisal, implement a work stoppage or suspend operations in cases of imminent danger. The employer, safety officer, or worker shall immediately notify the DOL that an imminent danger situation exists in the workplace. 3. Workers' right to report accidents, Section 7 Chapter 3 Do 198-18. Workers and their representatives shall have the right to report accidents, dangerous occurrences, and hazards to the employer, to DOL and to other concerned competent government agencies. They shall be free from any form of retaliation for reporting of any incident. 4. Workers' right to PPE, Section 8 Chapter 3 Do 198-18, every employer, contractor, or subcontractor, if any, shall provide his/her workers, free of charge PPE for any part of the body that may be exposed to hazards and lifeline, safety belt, or harness, gas or dust respirators or masks and protective shields whenever necessary by the reason of the hazardous work process or environment, chemical, radiological, mechanical and other irritants or hazards capable of causing injury or impairment in the function of any part of the body through absorption, inhalation or physical contact. The cost of PPE shall be part of the Safety and Health Program, which is a separate pay item pursuant to Section 21 of this rule. Workers' commitment. Do hereby commit to comply with the requirements of RA 11058 and DOL Department Order 198-18, its implementing rules and regulations, particular in Chapter 3 Section 4b, otherwise known as Duties of Workers, as follows. Participate in capacity building activities on safety and health and other OSH related topics and programs. Proper use of all safeguards and safety devices furnished for workers' protection and that of others. Comply the instruction to prevent accidents or imminent dangers situations in the workplace. Observe prescribed steps to be taken in cases of emergency, including participation in the conduct of national or local disaster drills. Report to their immediate supervisor or any other responsible safety and health personnel any work hazard that may be discovered in the workplace and other duties indicated in my job and responsibilities related to occupational safety and health. I acknowledge my duties and responsibilities as indicated above for my protection from any hazards or against injuries and illnesses that I may encounter in the workplace. Furthermore, I commit to follow and comply hazard controls implemented by my employer in order to prevent workplace accidents. That, I am also fully aware of the penalties and sanctions for OSH violations as indicated in the CHSI OSH program. Signature, _______________________________________________________________________________________________________________________:____________:_:. Job title, Date This is your last activity. Just fill up the form and send back to CHSI Safety Officer. Administrative OSH Requirements. 1. Repertorial Requirements and Prescriptive Period of Submission, Open Forms for Brief Viewing. A. Establishment Registration R1020. BAEDR, Annual Work Accident/Illness Exposure Data Report, R1050. C. Where, Employees Work Accident Illness Report, R1050. DAMR, Annual Medical Report, R1060. ERSO, Report of Safety Organization, R1050. FOSH Committee Report R1040. 2. Mandatory OSH Program, Brief Presentation via PowerPoint. 3. Penalties for Violations. As per Do 198-18 of RA 11058. Violation Penalties. 1. Registration of establishment to DOL P20,000. 2. Provision of job safety instruction or orientation prior to work P20,000. 3. Provision of workers' training, first aid, mandatory workers' training. Mandatory OSH training for safety officers and health personnel, P25,000. 4. Provision of safety signage and devices P50,000. 5. Provision of medical supplies, equipment, and facilities P50,000. 6. Submission of repertorial requirements as prescribed by OSH Standards P35,000. 7. Provision of safety officer and/or O personnel P35,000. 8. Provision of certified personnel or professional required by the OSH Standards P50,000. 9. Establishment of a Safety and Health Committee P35,000. Formulation and implementation of a comprehensive safety and health program. 11. Provision of information on hazards and risk, absence of P40,000. Chemical safety data sheet, no written SOP in materials handling, lifting etc. No permitting system for confined spaces/hot works. No lockout/tagout system etc. P50,000. 12. Provision of sanitary and welfare facilities P50,000. 13. Use of approved or certified devices and equipment for the task P30,000. 14. Provision of PPE or charging of provided PPE to workers P30,000. 15. Compliance with DOL issued WSO P50,000. 16. Compliance to other OSH standards including mandatory P50,000. Trainings and seminars required and other OSH standard. Award this certificate to Juan de la Cruz for completing the mandatory 8-hour safety and health seminar for workers, as prescribed by DOL, pursuant to Section 16(b) of RA 11058 and Section 3 of Do 198-18. Fernan O. Tabans, CHSI Safety Officer. Reynaldo R. Mariano, MD MHSA, CHSI President. Certificate No. 001.